Welcome to Ballistic High Speed, where we combine two of the greatest things on planet Earth, super slow motion
and firearms and firearm physics. I'm Adam.
I'm Bryce. Join us on our journey for Ballistic High Speed. Welcome back to Ballistic High Speed. Here we have another interesting subject to shoot, some various light bulbs. Go ahead and tell us, what are we going to be shooting today?
Today we're going to have a SIG P220. It's a 45, and we have some Federal Full Metal Jacket, aluminum cased. These are pretty slow moving rounds. They're only going to be clipping about 845 feet per second.
Especially in comparison to rifle rounds, 45 is incredibly slow. In some cases, like a third as slow. So that's going to help out the cameras a lot in terms of getting a really, really slow shot of the bullet fracturing through these different light bulbs. So we've got incandescent, we've got CFL, LED, and these big boy CFLs over here. So we're going to line up basically 4 of each light bulb and just see how the bullet interacts with them. We don't really know what's going to happen. Yep. This is more of a really just see what happens kind of video, not very scientific. So I imagine that the filaments are gonna short out and spark, and then once we're done with the small ones, we're gonna set up 4 of these really big CFLs. I think they're like 105 watts. Set up some of those and throw some birdshot at it. Give it some distance to spread out and just take it all out.
That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, so I say let's line them up, get to it.
Let's do it.
Power them up. All right, here we go. Whenever you're ready.
Good. Weapon is hot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that flare I thought we would get.
Wonder why only that one?
That's a good question. But I'm assuming that's when parts of the filament start contacting each other and start contacting a different part of the base.
I think there's also gases in there. I wonder if more of the gases got drugged back.
Yeah, because some light bulbs, they have to be a vacuum, and some of them have to have like an inert gas, like argon maybe or something like that.
Gotcha.
So as soon as that bullet first penetrates, it's starting to fill with normal air, which is going to burn the filament out anyways. Oh yeah, it's so bright it just completely flares out the image.
I wonder, is that arcing down into the...
It might be. It's hard to tell. All right, yeah, let's get those CFLs up, see what they look like.
Yeah.
We could always use pliers too.
Okay, when I put the other ones in, as lightly as possible.
Just enough to make that connection.
And these ones should remain easier to get out with that big base sound. Yeah.
There we go. Alrighty, this is 45 caliber versus CFL bulbs. Let's see what happens. I'm curious what that gas is gonna do.
I am too.
All right, high speed's ready, on you.
Okay. Weapon is hot.
Excellent.
Weapon is clear.
For some reason, once atmosphere is introduced, it turns green. They instantly turn yellow, instantly.
And then green.
It's like the frame that it touches the glass, the whole tube turns yellow. Like, how does it know? This is almost as fast as the speed of sound, but for some reason, this gas just knows it's been vacated slightly. The whole thing turns yellow immediately.
Very interesting.
Within a 40,000th of a second.
Because that's what each one of your frames is, right?
It just immediately turns yellow.
The hell is
Someone in the comments, please let us know what's going on here, because that's immediate. That's so fast, and then it fades away to green. All right, well, we've got LEDs left. I wonder if they'll do anything unique. I feel like they'll just instantly turn off as soon as you snap the diode.
We have no gases involved. It's just a light emitting diode.
Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
The nice thing about this bulb design is you just unscrew it. Yeah, power's off and it's unplugged. No?
I thought maybe the coating was getting flashed with yellow.
Oh.
But nothing changed, so it's got to just be a gas reaction.
I really want to know now why that turns yellow.
Huh, not for use with 45 caliber, right there.
It does say that.
Yeah.
These are meant to mimic that vintage design of like incandescent, but they're just basically curved diodes, it seems like.
Okay.
All right, let's power them up. Ooh. Cameras are ready, on you.
You got it.
45 caliber versus LEDs.
Weapon is hot.
Oh, nice. So we know for sure that the bullet didn't impact the first one.
Right, and it definitely does the second one.
It looks like it clipped the second one, and then it almost looks like, because you definitely missed the first filament, it almost looks like the glass somehow corrected it slightly and then went into the other ones.
Could have.
Which is kind of cool.
Glad it did, because we don't have any more bulbs.
Yeah. It just turns it back to like sand.
Some of the glass does come out forward.
Towards you.
Yeah.
We see that with basically almost anything that we shoot. It's like there's so much initial kinetic energy that something splats back towards you, whether it's like the watermelon rind or the ballistics gel.
See, I expected it with all of the fruits because like we've talked about, those have some hydrostatic pressure holding them together.
The bullets, if it's impacting it at all, it's either forward or ever so slightly up on that curve.
Right.
But somehow it's making it backwards.
Yeah.
So that's why we wear eye protection.
So that first one survived the pressure of the round going through there. It was dragging a bunch of glass across it, and you can see it kind of unraveling, re-raveling, flickering, and it still stayed on.
Which is why LEDs, you don't have to handle them with as much care as like an incandescent, because an incandescent, you shake it too much and that filament stretches too much, it's done.
Not sure how I missed that first one. I'm kind of glad I did though. We got a lot more to look at than just, bulbs are off now. So. And
they each had their own unique characteristics on how they died, how they flared, how they broke, which is cool.
And that one still, if I went and put power to it, would just turn back on.
Crazy. Alrighty, well, the only thing we have are those mega CFLs. I say we throw birdshot at it.
Yeah.
At somewhat of an angle to try to get each one with its own pellets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cant it off at like a 35 maybe.
Yep, because that way we don't have to, we can just use a whole circle of them.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, so these are basically oversized CFLs that are meant for like photography setups, but these are 105 watts. They're pretty bright. The important thing is they are huge, which should be a lot of surface area for birdshot to take out. All right, it's powered up. It's plugged in, should be able to, there we go.
Just like that.
Let there be light.
So we're gonna try and get the shot to stay up here and not smoke our power strip here.
I don't think we'll have a problem.
I think we can get it.
Okay, let's do it.
One way to find out.
And that's the bird shot, right?
Yep, this is a 8 shot.
All right, on you.
Good. Weapon is hot. You wanted the top, you got the top.
That's cool though. All right, let's cut. Yikes. Let's go ahead and cut power. I would say I'm glad that we aimed high, because seeing how far down some of those pellets were hitting, if you would have aimed dead center, we would have started hitting the...
And this way the wad missed, so we only see BB.
True.
Action. And you can actually see the flickering. It's getting so many frames
And they're happening
second.
at different times.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's the one right there.
Just skim the top.
So we got the effect that I was looking for, shooting at it obliquely instead of straight on, as you can see some pellets skipping the first ones and going into the last ones.
Doesn't really seem like a whole lot of carnage when you watch it that slow.
Yeah.
But when you see it in real life, it's just
because each piece of destruction has its own step that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Instead of what feels like all at once. There's just something so satisfying about witnessing something instantaneous and then seeing it step by step by step. It's like these cameras capture so much data.
So when you're at this angle, can you see much happening?
Oh no, it's just poof. Yeah. It's gone. Well, that was a good video, successful. I think it was probably just destruction for the sake of destruction though.
It's kind of our thing.
Yeah. I think I learned something for sure. Again, like we asked earlier, anyone in the comments that knows what's going on with these bulbs, how within like a 50,000th of a second of being broken, the whole bulb changes color and dims and everything like instantly.
And all at once. We don't get to see a trail going down the spiral or anything. It just yellows out.
I would expect some amount of time for the gases to be escaping or for it to be swapping with atmosphere.
Right.
And see some sort of process, but it's instant. So if anyone knows what's going on with that, please let us know, because we kind of have no idea. But it was cool to see in high speed.
Or maybe we just need to do it again sometime, but in even slower slow-mo and see if we can start to see what is happening.
Because it could be that it was just after the threshold of 40,000 frames a second. If we did like 200,000, maybe we would start to see what's going on. So we might revisit it, but that's kind of too small of an idea for a whole video. So we'll just have to see. Other than that, I think we got some good shots, good aim as always from you.
Appreciate it.
Got to see some cool wiggly spaghetti filaments going on, which was pretty funny. But
yeah, the LED was very impressive.
Yeah. Survived an impact.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for watching another episode of Ballistic High Speed. Please consider subscribing. We're well over 50,000 subscribers now, which is really cool. Obviously, we've got our Instagram and Facebook as well. We put up little sneak peeks there and everything, little glimpses before we release episodes.
And over on the Patreon.
Yep, Patreon if you want to see stuff early. Our videos always come out at least 2 days early on Patreon. So if you want to support us over there, that would be appreciated. And other than that, shoot us some ideas, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.